Praise the Lord. Good morning. Tuko poa. How many of you are expecting to learn something new today? I think I've seen most people except some few. All right. Please do have your seats. I like to appreciate God for this opportunity that He has given me to stand before great people. You guys are so great, and I'll tell you why. Okay, in a short while, I'll tell you why. Um, Whenever I'm in the midst of very young people, because I understand, and I can see some, yes. So I know I'm in the right place, and I'll tell you again why. It's because if you can choose to be here and not in another place, then it means you're ready for the next season. And it means that you're serious about preparing, can I say, for the transformed world, because that's what you guys are talking about. The conference is about transformed leaders, right? Then do you already know that we are in a transformed world? Who knows that? Okay. Are we in the same world we had in 2017? Is it the same? So this means it's a different one, correct? Good. Um, so I was invited by Teacher Joe. Thank you so much for this opportunity to just come and spend time with great leaders. And I don't know why I decided to choose this topic about time mastery. And when I was preparing, I was asking, what am I going to tell them that is different from, especially some of the guys who I've met them before and we've had like some different conversations and all that. But as I kept on preparing and all that, I learned there is so much, so much. And we're going to start off with time being a supernatural resource. All right? So I'll be working closely with the media team so that we can be able, this is a screen I'll be using, so that we can be able to see how the session is. I believe you're going to learn a lot, and I'm also looking forward to interacting with new people. And it's because I interact with so many people, and there's one group of people I interact with because of what I'm involved in. I'm involved in so many things, but I'll tell you a couple of them. But then, do you guys like stories? How many of you like stories? Okay. That was 50%. If it goes beyond 50, then I'll tell you stories. Okay, but if it doesn't go beyond 50, then I'll stay to a lecture. Okay, let me see. How many people like stories? Okay. All right. So it's a time mastery for youth leaders, and I believe that's who you are. That's what you're going to be looking at. And I want to challenge us, even as we are starting with something. Slide one. I like using props, and I also like using questions. Do we have some mics? Okay, oh good. Let me get 3 people. 3 people. So you said you like stories, yeah. 1, 2, 1 on this side. Please come, the 3 of you. I want to show you something. By the way, I've already started my session. I'm starting now my session. Okay, so this is what happens to us, all of us, every single day at 0000. So like right now, it's already spent by 11 hours because it's around 11, okay? So this is what happens to each and every one of us, whether you are young, whether you are old, whether you are a child, a student, whoever you are, it doesn't matter. Whether you are rich, whether you are, whichever category you are in, all of us, this is God. And this is what he does. He has a package for each and every one of us. Okay? And so this is what happens. So in the package, which is given to everyone, pick anything here, one of them. Just one of them. We want to see what's written there. Just one of them. Good. What is written there? Yours? Nothing. Okay, there is something that is written. And what's usually written on that is this. Okay? And when you open it, is this. Do you see that? And then, all of us, we open it and we put it on. This is 0001. Okay? So you have yours. Now I've just put on mine. And then what he is expecting you to do, to start writing how you want it to be. Because every time, he resets it every 24 hours. Who is working with me? Okay. Now, give them pens. Give them a pen. You have yours. Right, start writing. Do you see the way he's thinking? Yes, you can see. That's exactly. I'm in the right place. I'm seeing some other people like, what is this thing about? What is he talking about? What is it about? Yes, that is it. I'm giving you another 10 seconds. And Mike. I'll pick. Okay, assist me to pick which one? This one? You want to know this one? This one, which one? Which one? Oh, this one. Oh, this one. Okay, yeah. So time is up. Please give her a mic. Tell us what you've written.
Hi. My first thing has been prayer. I wake up and pray. And then grooming, feeding, schoolwork, break, to meditate. And then there is Bible study along the way. And then there is checking up, come up like on websites if there are organizations that have posts things that I follow, checking up things like scholarships and stuff. And then nilikuwa nimefika hiyo number.
You're done? Okay. At least you have something. Do you know, okay, what time do you wake up? There's a mic.
5:30.
5:30. What time do you wake up? 5:30. What time do you wake up?
It will depend with the day.
If it will depend, I think we can continue. Please sit. Thank you. Please give me your list. This one. Yes. No. Just as it is. It was blank, and you've already written. Okay. So have you seen? That's what happens to us. God gives you a gift. And now, some people right now, they are trying to push it back to do what they should have been done at 7. And that's what happens when people are stuck on traffic. That's what they try to do. Because they realize, like, I'm getting late and I need to be there on time. And then they freak out, right? And they start doing what that man is doing. He's trying to push it back, which is not possible. We can continue. So, are we together so far? Because I just want us to move systematically so that you can understand something that brings the distinction in terms of the leadership. And that's why when you check on the road, most of the leaders will not find them at 8 in the morning. Did you know that? Did you know that? Okay, the ones who wake up at 5:35 go to the roads and check how many matatus are there. But check whether there are cars. Usually cars? Okay. They say in Parkland Sports Club, at 4 in the morning, it is full. 4. One of my mentors called, that I used to spend a lot of time with, called Dr. Wale, was saying he wakes up at 3. By 7, he has already done so many things that for the day. So by the time you're meeting him at, let's say, 8 in the morning, when he's going to get his cup of tea, he's already done so much. If you go to the airport at 6:30, you'll be amazed by the number of people who are taking flights to Kisumu at 6:30, going to work. But they stay in Nairobi at 6:30. Okay? So at 6:30 when you are sleeping, there are people about to take over flight. At 7, they're in Kisumu. And at 7, you are turning on your second dream. Let's continue. There's a video I would like us to watch. Is it possible? Kindly play that video. You thought it's long? No, it wasn't long. But it's the same video, we've done it in different versions. Okay? So I just want to understand, please, mics. I just want 2 responses or 3. One on this side. Somebody who picked anything from that. If it made sense to you. If it didn't make sense to you, still that's feedback. Tell me, it didn't make sense to me. Let me see. Yes, I like the boldness. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So for me, I think it is a car that is in a racing, and they were fixing, because they were in the process, they were continuing with the race. So immediately the car comes at the service center, all people should be alert so that there is no wastage of time, such that the car will be serviced so faster and the driver continues with the race and he or she wins the race.
Excellent. That's very good. But there are 2 more things. Yes, there is a response on this side. But that was excellent. And then right at the back, I want to know how many people were there. So start thinking, I'll pick you somewhere there.
Okay, that was Formula one of my favorite sports I like to watch. And the time the staff takes to change the tires and maybe repair the car contributes to the marks the driver earns. So it should be within microseconds for the driver to earn good marks compared to because they are in a team. So the time they take contributes a lot to the total marks of the outcome of the game.
Excellent. How many people were there? That's why we did fast, slow, slow. How many people? Yes. You know, I'm talking to you. You're being with a big smile. Simngekuwa na tags, nijue majina. Yes. Yeah, she's the one. Correct. How many people?
Hi,
Hi.
I didn't count, but I was trying to calculate in my head, maybe around 12 to 14.
12 to 14. Okay, another guess. At the back, it's the back, right there. Yes, yes. How many people?
Okay, I also didn't count, but I would guess about 8.
8 people. Okay. Okay. You are a fan of this sport. How many people? 11.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sending you back to go and watch. 23. It takes 23 people to change the tires, to fuel it, to lift it. Because you can see everyone is, and then what is very unique is everyone is just doing one thing. And then because they have done it over time, then they become so good that now we have the efficiency. And that's what happens when you combine time with preparation. There's something being used in the kitchen that is dangerous called a microwave, because it cooks everything in seconds. But now you lose out so much, you lose out on the process. And now this thing is training us to do the same to many things. But the process, very important. We continue. Please just be keen on this, because I want to ask some few questions. There are some pictures that I want us to look at. And they represent very important things. Those 2 pictures. There's one on the left, one on the right. The one with the car. Let's start there. Does it make sense? The one with the car, the red car. Okay, the other one with purple is not with a bluish eggs. See, that's a nest. Does it make sense? Please. So you say transformation. Then talk back to me. The 2 of them represent us. Some represent someone, the other one represents someone else, but in different stages. All right? If you give the eggs time, what are they going to become? A chick, right? What is that? Time, right? They become a chick. If you give the chick time, what does she become? An eagle, right? But it's given time. Very important. Very important. So the difference between the eagle that you are seeing and that is just time. Am I talking to someone here? Okay, let's look at the other one. It's now the car. The car is representing you guys. Prime, strong, so much energy. You get? There. You can do so much right now if you want. You're the kind of people who can stay awake up to 3 in the morning and you wake up at 6. 3 hours sleep. You know that? And you will not struggle through the day. Someone else will try that and you'll find them struggling just an hour later, right? So the red one is representing everyone here. You are in a stage that you are so no longer delicate but so strong. Your mind is strong. All you need to do is to be put on the right road. Yes. Because that car is very good, but on the right road. If you put it on some of the roads in Kenya, it can't even pick the 240. It can't pick the 360. You get? But put it on some roads that have no bumps. Then that's when you'll see. And the same thing to us. You just need to be put in the right environment. And that's why we have the session today. The next one. The next one, I'm coming to you. All right. Do you see there's another one there? You see the road. And now, do you see the other car? Do you know there's a season that car was it? You know that? Who is doubting? There's a season that car was the. But where is it now? So even if you give it the other road that is next to it, it's irrelevant. Please, I've given, even if I leave now, I'm already done with my work. With the 2 scenarios I've pictured. One, you've seen, the red car needs this road. Okay? But the other car needs rehabilitation. The other one. Can you see the other one? This truck. Because even if you put it on that road, you've seen those lorries that cannot even pick 30 kilometers is work. They carry truck. Have you trash? You've seen them? As in, you can walk beside it. But at least that one is on the road. Now this one is not even on the road. You can't get spare parts for this one. Please, if you're living here, and especially if you've gone through my session, please, this should not be your story. This should not be your story. Where you'll be looking at roads, and you are saying, I wish somebody showed me this truck. I wish somebody showed me this road. My assignment was to show you the road today. And the road is called time mastery. Can we continue? Is someone being blessed? Someone is being blessed. Okay, if I start taking questions, is it okay we do the questions at the end? Yes, because I'm seeing people with questions. Media, you are very blessed. Okay, there are some things I want us to think about. I don't know whether, it's clear. And these are questions I want us to ask ourselves. What's my value? What's my value? But then if you just answer that alone, we will not find you in bed at 7. Yes. There are some places we'll not find you. There are some people will not find you around. There are conversations we'll never hear from you. If you just get that, what's my value? And then the other thing is, I want us to think through. These are There is no perfect answer. There is no standard answer. This is so personal. So the question is there someone today who is saying, I thank God for, what's your name?
Ryan.
Imagine. Somebody saying that. The way I know you guys are grateful that you have Joe, right? Because if it was not for Teacher Joe, do you know I would not even be here? Do you know many of you would not have seen me? And maybe you never have met, right? But because of him. All right? Are you replaceable? Can we swap you such that you are supposed to be on this seat, and even if you don't come, we don't even realize? You get? Let's continue. Is there anything I'm doing to increase my value? This is October. If you're the same way you were in January, then Ebu review that question. And can I challenge us with something? Who has 50 bob? Give me 50 bob. 50 bob. You see, sitting in front, the money was there. Okay, do you know, this cannot take you to town. Sindio? This cannot take you to town. Is it true? Chances are cannot even buy you lunch. You can't get lunch out of this. But I tell you something about this so that you see value, what we are talking about. This one, it's 1.5 GB of data for 3 hours. Is it true? Is it true? Do you know what you can do with 1.5 GB of data in 3 hours? Yes. It's a free mentorship session that you can download from Harvard University. When you are right here, 50 bob. I think I'm getting to a space that is familiar. That one, which cannot buy you lunch, which cannot take you to town. But it's worth 1.5 GB, 3 hours. You download free content that you'll watch for 2-hour session from Harvard University, available online. And now we did a research when you're doing Zoom classes. It was with the 50 shillings, it was enough to do 2 hours on Zoom. Yes, you are doubting me. Yeah, I'm seeing the way you're asking, like, is it true? It is true. Yes, 50 shillings. I'm challenging us. And the ones who think they are so busy, do you have anything called free time? That's what I was telling you to write, because I wanted to see where does it stop. The last question. Do I feel every day that I waste time? Even without you answering me, I'll tell you, if you enjoy traffic jam, it's part of that. Yes, because if you wake up a little bit earlier, then it will take you less time to be in town. But if you enjoy sleep, then tutakutana na jam ya Gong Road. Sindio? So we continue. I knew if I start by definitions, it's going to look like a class, but I needed to start far so that when I'm defining what we are looking at, you will be at ease. It's going to be easy to flow. And so we can see time being a supernatural resource that we are given by God. Equal measure. You've seen everyone. No one has an extra 1 second, 1 minute. No one. All of us the same. All right? And so the other thing is, which is important, that's why we are looking at value. Whatever you decide to write on your blank is going to determine your value. I cannot write on your blank. You are the one to choose what you want to write on that blank. And I want to introduce to you something else, which is 2 types of timing. There's a timing, this one, which we're in charge. But there's another one that is, it is God who sets that. All right? And the one that is created by God, it's called Kairos. The unique thing about that is, it swaps seasons. Now what you just need is the wisdom to be able to identify which time are we in. For instance, in Kenya, we just swapped a government. So it's not just time, but there's a lot that you're going to see with the new government that you are not able to see with the previous government. Why? Because of that timing. And it's the same thing that happens to each and every one of us. You may notice there's a season that you are around some people. You get? And then another season you are like, you can be in a season where God ensures you are around mentors. And the season is done. Then now you move to another season where you are around students who are depending on what you are getting there. Do you know the difference? Because if I want to learn, then first I'm going to learn how to operate this. But somebody is going to show me. And then after they show me, they tell me this is how you operate it. And then they give it back to me, they tell me, now operate. Then they observe as I'm operating until I'm good. Then finally, they challenge me and they tell me, now go and show someone else how to operate. And that's what mentors do. Are we together? Good. I just hope the definition is now clear so that you can be able to understand, so that you don't start asking questions. Why is it that the close friends I had, they have gone? The season has changed. Nothing, you didn't do anything wrong. It is a season that has changed. And that's why we are looking at these key Bible references. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. And then the second one, a time and a chance that is given to each and every one of us. So you don't say, I was not given a chance. Today, the people who are here, it's a chance God has given you to learn something new. So when you're looking at the amount of time that you have, I want to tell us a story. How many of you are students? Students? Okay. There's one Sunday morning I was seated as a student in a facility like this in college. And a young man stood and they were asking for a geometrical set to go and donate to young people. You understand, the mathematical set, all right? And so I was keen. So immediately after the session, I followed them. And I was asking them, why is it so important that you get this? And they were so passionate when they were asking for that. And I tried to follow up and I realized they were working on a model to support students to support students with fees and such. And so I joined them as a volunteer because I realized I had time on Saturdays afternoon and we were making mandazi. And from mandazi, we were selling the mandazis in the evening and on Sunday. Do you know from that, we started paying school fees? Mandazi. We started paying school fees for students, selling mandazi. Yes, it is true. You know, there are some people who are like, is it true? No, I'm doubting. Yes. And I noticed something when I did that. I realized, kumbe, the time that I have on Saturday afternoons, I can do something. And so now those students were leaving, and the organization didn't have leadership. And they came and asked me, would you pick this? Because we would like to close it. And so that at least you can continue with it, because they were leaving. And I think I was a second year or something. And I picked it, but I remember like the prayer that I made was, if this is of God, then I don't want to see what they were doing. I want to see something totally different. True enough, I think God blessed me with wisdom to do concerts. And so I started doing concerts to raise funds. And within a very short period of time, we had grown so much. We started paying boarding fees for students. And not one, and not two. We started attending sessions in secondary schools at parents. And the turning point was when I saw in the little room, the dormitory, when one woman came, and she came and said, I know if you want to change the life of my grandchild, you can do that. And she knelt down and she cried so much. And I realized, even as a student, there is something I can be able to do to affect the life of this. And one Mbugwa, the student was called Mbugwa. So one Mbugwa, I just told them, it's okay. Let me see what I can be able to do. But bring him on Monday. So I went to school to negotiate without money. And I said, from now onwards, if you want to send the child, call me. And then now, that's when I realized I have to convert the time that I have to something useful. And out of that, today there is a scholarship fund that is in the university that was started we were 3 of us. And it's so good when you go there and you're told, these ones have gone through this program. Okay, some of you are in your 3rd year, 4th year. When you leave, what will they remember? Is it going to be the writings that you are doing on your dormitory? Is it going to be the legal power connections to cook? What do you want? I know some leave very nice legacy of how many chicks spend in that room. According to them, that's very good. But today I'm challenging us. The answer is there. What time? What am I doing with the weekends? See, I've already answered those questions with a story. You write your story. You write your story. If someone is working and another one is not working, the story will be different. That you know. Okay? If you're already engaged in a certain club, you know, and someone who is not, the story is different. Okay? And the ones who wake up, the club 5:30, and the club 7:30, and club 9 in the morning, the story is yours, the one you want to write. Can we continue? Is someone getting blessed? Okay? So this is just a challenge on how we want to spend the gift, because it's a gift. It's the next one. We're just looking at how we would want to spend the gift, because this is a gift God has given us. Okay? But as I was asking us these questions, I don't know that, yes. it will take time for, like Joe, yes, it is going to take time for the team that you have to communicate to them a vision. And that's why companies, what they do, when they have branded merchandise, they don't do it once. You notice that? They keep on repeating and repeating until everyone knows the vision. And I've seen it there. How many of your leaders can read that? Like, it's here and it's here. How many? Not there. You have to move it from there. And when there are testimonies to say, I've been raising visionary leaders, I've been raised under Kibesco, it's here. You get? But it takes time to get there. I've told you about the 50 bob. It takes time to build the skill. But I think most important, it's another one. And I want to correct that, something that we talk about so much. You can see this? You can see it. So, we say talent is everything, right? But here is a new story. Talent is never enough. Okay? So that's where now we can see. Because if you just have talent, you think you can be effective. But when you go through material like this, that's when you realize it takes more. They say spectacular achievements come from unspectacular work or preparation. When you are seeing it spectacular, then it took unspectacular preparation. And that's why talent is never enough. And you know why? It's because when you are talented, naturally you want to go out. Like for instance, you've had these people who are saying, I'm very good in cooking, right? And they just want to go and try until people start diarrhea. That's when they realize, I didn't know how to mix ingredients. I didn't know how to balance. You get? Until you are told, hey, what to? After the session, people add S. But when you go and start preparing, you realize, there are some things like Royco has to be well cooked. You get? You try it when it's not well cooked. So you are talented. Yeah, weka mwisho, so that it can be spicy and tasty. Then serve the people. Yes, and watch them after 2 hours. Let's see what happens. So I've just given you one. Yes, try it. Let's see what happens. Because it's going to change the taste and the fragrance, but the results. And finally, it takes time to develop leaders, and that's why you are sitting here. In 3 days, I can guarantee you, you are not going to be the same guys who walked in here. You will be different. Your thinking will be different. Yes, so we continue. I asked them for something. And this is the question. What am I doing with my time? What am I doing with my time? If we are to check here, the answers would be so different. So different. There's another time I went to Maralal. I know maybe it's somewhere in Kenya, for the ones who don't know. And so by then the road was really bad. So I went there and I'd seen a feature that was on KTN about some people going without food. So I went there and we left Nairobi at 7. We got there at 8:30 p.m. And some point when you got to Rimuruti, we were told to wait until we get security so that you can go as a convoy because of insecurity there. And we were told we had to carry water. But I was asking myself, do I have to go there? And I know some of you are asking, so why were you going? But I'll tell you why I was going. So I went there and I saw people for the first time cooking cactus. You know cactus? Yes. That was the first time I knew that thing can be cooked. And out of the many interactions with, my attention was caught by the women who are 70 plus. And I found this woman. She couldn't stand. She couldn't kneel. And to move, this is how she was moving. And I found her next to one of the cactus. And the house was about 5 meters away. But I watched her struggle to get in back there after plucking that thing. And when she was about to get into the house, I took a short video about, it was about 1 minute and 45 seconds. I saw her struggle to get in. There was nothing in the small room. There was no food. There was no fire. You could tell the last time they had cooked was such a long time ago. When I took that video, I decided to do something. And I decided to engage people. And the first time I shared it, we launched a campaign that we were calling Skip a Meal, so that we can feed those people. And in 1 week, I'd raised 800,000. And I got an organization that said, because of this, we'll match it. So it became 1.6 million. And we teamed up with some people, and we went back there with food. What are you doing with your time? This is what made me, when I saw that woman struggle to get in, I said, I think I'm privileged to walk and to run. But because I'm like that red car, let me use the time. You get? Yes. I know you can answer that. There are many, these ones. But this is the version you needed of the woman. So that you can match it with that. Why? Because for some of you, it's this. You get? Don't say it's a small thing. This is all you can do. But if you go to the house of these men who are 70 and above, and you clean it for them, they look at you cleaning, and they say, I'm grateful that there is a team that came to clean for us, because the place was stinking of urine. They can't do the cleanup. I'm challenging something. And I'm talking to a comfort that we have, that we can convert to something. It was not, can you imagine, 7 to 8:30, but a video fed so many people. But somebody had to go. So these are questions. What are you doing? To somebody, did you guys see the students who are awarded, is it from St. Paul's? You saw them? Did they challenge you? Ikobana. Who knows Ikobana? Teacher Joe, please tell them about Ikobana. You can search it. St. Paul's University students inventing. When their colleagues were looking for wives and husbands, they were busy. Yes. When they were matchmaking, I'm serious, they were busy creating a product that we can say, you get. And then you wonder, these are men. Why are they thinking about a product for women? You know, it was, most of them were men. You wonder. But can you see the mindset? Inventing, serving community. The 50 bob, to be mentored from Harvard. All right? The list is endless. These are just samples. I like the mood. I like it. Because now we are thinking. So we continue. If you go to church, please, when you go and find the toilets are dirty and they are messy, don't live there the same way you found them. Especially after this. Can I get 3 people? 3 people, 3 volunteers. I'm going to pick for myself. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, the 4 people. Please just come quickly. There's an exercise I want us to do. Is it here? Because I've seen this is, okay. Yes, here. I need one person here. One person right here. Yes, there. Face them. Then you stand here. Please stand here. And then you stand here. I want to show you something. Use that. No. Please use these. Just unwrap it. Nifungulie. I'll show you something. Watch this. Because this is where. Yes, good. So for you, it's like you're pulling an imaginary string. So this is one. This is what we face every day. And that's why we had an issue writing. Okay? So she's pulling. This is you. Every day. She's pulling on this side. She's pulling on the other side. And is pulling on this side. But what you want to do is to go in front. All right? The 3 of them, this is the world. And the world is giving you systems, pulling you on this side, telling you, if you want to go in front, come be here, but move from here. You get? And then here is another one. This is your enemy. So he's also pulling you here, telling you, use this route, it's better. And finally, we have God. The voice is so subtle. But for him is holding you from the back, but telling you, keep moving. You get? The one that you need to listen to more is this. Not that, not this. I'll tell you why. See, all of us, most of us have smartphones. What happens when someone gets 1 million likes? They are the. Is it true? You change your walking style. You get? And now we are in a system where everyone wants likes. You want this. This is it. And so keeps on pulling you. This is where we are, for instance, social media. But there's another one on this side. This is where we have addictions to fit in. The CEO for Junior Achievement yesterday, I met him yesterday, he was telling me that we have so many young people in colleges, in high school, who are mental cases. Like you understand? Mentally disturbed. Why? Because there is a system, things that they have introduced into the body. You get? But this is a plan of God. And this, depending on which one, is going to determine how now you write your plain paper. You remember it? Depending on which one. If it's this, the story is different. If it's this, the story is different. And if it's that, the story is different. So depending on which one. And that's why you can see, for God, He has created for us a blueprint. But when it comes to the world, it is systems to control. When it comes to the enemy, it is an imaginary world. I met people who tried shisha. And I asked them, how do you feel after that? But they say they feel so good. That's why they have to keep on. You get? Please, if you pick that, thank you. If you pick that, then now you'll understand why. Why is it that you have so much craze for this, for that? Very important. Because again, depending on which one, so you can see how the time is manipulated. How come many of you cannot post their pictures as you are? You have to go to salon, do makeup. How come we never see your picture in pajama, in, those, you understand the one I'm talking about. But we want the one that is really nice. Why? Likes. So we continue. I like the way we are moving from one side to the other and like, God, this is uncomfortable. Yes. So it's very true that whatever controls your time. I've shown you 3 things. It's going to control. Whatever controls your time will control your destiny. And if you check the world, the systems there is to ensure that we are captives 24/7. And if you check the strategy of the enemy, that is the one who is telling us not to go to school. Is the one that telling us 4 years to do what? When you can be able to post, I don't know many. So there's a picture that was trending this week of a young lady in white. She was dressed in white, and there were 3 men who were taking a picture of her. Yes. Who saw that? It's been trending. Imagine popularity. She goes to lie down nude, And then there are men there. You even wonder the men, they are okay standing there to take the pictures and record the video. That is how bad it is. We continue. Yes. So, who is controlling my time? Those are friends. And that's social media. Two key people controlling time. You know, unless it's magnified, you never see it that way. But when you magnify it, then you'll be able to see. We continue. So you can be able to see. And there are many things. I just wanted to single out some. And one of them, I think, yes. This, you can see social media. See, this is clear. Money, controlling time. Does it control time by the money? You've had the people who have to work, like I have friends in States, they say they work 3 jobs. So the guy has to sleep for 4 hours only. He's working Sunday to Sunday. Money. Right now the guys, the ITs, professionals, because you are on such high demand, you say like, I'm going to combine 3 opportunities. Working for this, working for that, working for that. Money. And then you realize you don't even have time to sleep. And we meet you in a lift and you're smelling like... By the time a man is smelling and they are working, you know, the one we are used to is ladies, the wig, because I know the issue is washing sometimes. But by the time a man is smelling and they are working, things are bad. They don't have time for themselves at all. Okay? Yeah, so I couldn't leave out what we do in the evening, the chats, the phone calls. Sikuna tunukiwa, unasema lazima itumike yote, na store bonus lazima itumike yote. So there on a phone call for 2 hours, stories zinaisha, mnaanza za neighbor zinaisha, mnaanza za cousin zinaisha, mnaanza za jirani zinaisha, mnaanza za lecturers zinaisha, lazima itumike. Who said it has to be used? Okay? But out of all that, the one that is a killer is addictions. Because it pulls you into a cocoon and hides you there and tells you, this world is yours alone. Nobody cares. Like the secret addictions. You know them. I don't have to mention names. But I submit to us, if you start, it takes a miracle to get out. So you better not start. And that's why I'm not mentioning names, lest somebody goes to Google. They start asking, what is this? Yes. So I'm careful not to mention names. But when they start, yes. I think we've seen this regarding money. It will determine where someone will stay. It will affect their meals. If you go to town, there are places, kuna vibanda, unaweza pata food ya so. Lakini peleka hiyo kwa fast food, tuone kama itakupatia food. As in unaweza pata tu ni mtaa, ni nyuma tu, then on the other side, the same 100 bob. You get? How many of you have a dream phone? There's a phone that you have a dream phone. Ile unasemanga tu hiyo, yes, there, no one else. Yes. Is it the one you're using? Is it the one you're using? Okay. So have I answered one? So the reason as to, do you know if you get money, that will be the first thing you run for? Because it's been so much here. You get? It determines, do you also know it determines the sites you go to? Kasa ile una bundles. Sa ile zimepimwa, unajua niko na 20 MBs peke yake. Kuna uwezi fungua video ama unafungua ukichange quality. Lakini sa ile unajua uko na unlimited, zimeanguka vizuri. You change the quality to HD, si ndio? Si kwani, it's true. It's true. All right? Do you also know that it determines how someone travels? If I got it right, and someone wants to go to Mombasa, SGR is 1,000. Flight is 7,500, but they are there in 35 minutes. But SGR, 6 hours. Na unawekwa Meritini. Then by the time you get to town, another 1 hour. So 7 hours. And bus is worse. You get? I'm bringing it to a level where we can be able to see something that can be able to affect our time. All right, it's a message I've been given. Yes, so we continue. Okay, so this is God's plan for my time. Out of the many things, it is in the mind of God that you rest. It is in the mind of God that you add value to the community. It's in the mind of God that you invest in relationships that are going to make you better. And we'll look at that shortly. But also it's in the mind of God that you take up opportunities, challenge yourself. And that's why we are now going to the last segment, because I know there are many questions. Let me answer them through this segment. I call it Sun, Stand Still. All right? And this is about time redemption and other, some few other things that we'll be looking at. And one of them is, what can I do now that I have such limited time? What can I do? I'll tell you some of the things you are doing when you're in college. There are those mothers who wash. Unawajua? Mnawajua? So we'd gang up, put clothes together, and we give them. When they go and wash, we will not spend that time. And up to today, I've seen them in estates, they wash. So if you're in college, you can gang up and put your clothes together, they go and wash instead of you being there. And by the way, do you know, if you wash your clothes, ladies, you can tell me this, you sit there and you wash for 2 hours. When you wake up, the first thing you want to do is to sleep because you are so tired, you're back, right? What about if you just give the person who can do it well and they go away and you give them 200 bucks? Yes, you said you want to save, then after that you go and sleep. And when you are sleeping, someone else is being upgraded. We continue. All right? So we have, yes, thank you. So we have that, and there are others. So I've just given you one that is very common, that applies to virtually everyone. Do you know there are people, if you tell them, I'll come and assist you, but it's not, you're not looking at assisting, it's you're looking at, by the time I've spent 3 hours with this guy, I did that, one of the hobbies that I have is cooking. I spend time with a chef, and I'll tell him, I'm going to be preparing your ingredients. By the time, he's preparing, he's telling me, now, if you want to make pilau, this is what you mix. If you want to make a cumin rice, this is what you mix. If you want to do boneless chicken, this is how you get. These are the ingredients. I went to a free Utali college because I gave him my time to prepare ingredients. All right? So you can choose. Do you want to exchange it for something better? Do you want to use it to pursue, to prepare, for instance? And we look at some strategies. So I've given you, at least two things, two quick ones. There's someone somewhere, you just give them your time, and I've given you that example. That's how we learned how to cook. A chef, very qualified guy. But I just said, when my afternoons and my evenings, I'm coming. So I learned how to cook. And if you throw me in the kitchen, you'll think I've been somewhere. We continue. Yes. How many of you have mentors? Mentors. It's just few of you. Mentors have been to places where you have not been. They are trailblazers. They'll make it easy for you. All right? They are leaders. They are supernatural bridges. There's a place you don't know, them they can introduce you there. I didn't know how to cook. One introduced me. What do you want them to introduce you to? The choice is yours. They are divine helpers. That's one of them. That's one. I have several. That's one of them. I told you about Dr. Wale. And one of the things I picked from him is, there is nothing that is in the final state. Everything is raw material. Everything. So, you use water bottles, and you are done and you dump. To someone else, they are waiting to recycle them, right? Yes. Then we can continue to another one. I have some few minutes. This is where we started. Do you remember seeing this book? And one thing you'll notice about books. Every time you pick a book and you read, by the time you are done with the last page, you are not the same. That book has changed the way you think. It has changed the way you relate to people. It has changed the way you even process information. It has changed the way you visualize things and the way you even react to situations. And we continue to another one. This is systems. And on the systems, if you go to town right now, you'll be amazed by the number of guys who have created a gig economy around GPO, because they understand how to use this thing called e-citizen when you don't. When we were voting, the queues that were there, do you know, they had printed papers everywhere. People who are going there when you can use your phone to check your queue on your phone. How many of you went to look for? Who went to check their name? See, they had printed names. Who went to check? I know you can. Yes. Then it was on their portal. There is so much. Companies are investing in ways through which you can check your balance, query statement. Then you go and queue outside a Safaricom shop with this sun for 2 hours, only to be told, do you have a smartphone? Please dial *234. Statement there. And it's sent to you for free. Imagine. Systems. 2 hours plus Gong Road. The last one I want to introduce. This one. This is usually divine intervention by God, strategies. I like the story of Samson in the Bible, where he did so much using a very simple equipment. No one has ever used it again after that. But it was a supernatural strategy. Okay? And I want to give us things that God has given us that are supernatural to assist us in times of time. One of them is good health. And I can see all of us, very strong people. That's a strategy. So that you can be able to do more. All right? And if you want to confirm that, go to, I don't know, the 7th floor in Kenyatta. And you go and realize people who are totally incapacitated. That's when you realize how important what you have is. Yes. Kenyatta. It's not far from here, right? Yes. Good health. I'll tell you about another one. Peace. If you wake up and you have peace, it's a strategy God has given you to do more. How many of you are able to make sound decisions when your mind is troubled? Show me one. How many? Have you ever thought about that? Wisdom. And that's part of the package you are getting today. So that from today, you see things in a different way. And with that, let's look at the last picture I want us to look at. There are 2 pictures we looked at. Now let's see this. Okay? Do you like them? You like them? Okay. What is on this side? What are they? What are they? This one, the one where the flowers are, what is that? It starts with a T. What are they? Tires. Are they on a car? But where are they? They're in a garden. Please, if yours was the other track, please make this. Do you remember the other track? Make this. So he said, it's never in the final state. Let's make this. Because one thing that is very difficult to recycle is the tires. That's why I chose that. So let's make this. I'll tell you about another one, which is also very difficult to recycle. It's an aeroplane, craft. The one on the side, that's a Boeing. Once it's grounded, somebody has converted to a residence. Yes. So if yours was flying, but now you are grounded, convert it to that. That's the challenge I'm giving us. Convert it to, so you choose which one you want to convert. So if there's an area in your life that was like the other track that could not use the nice road, choose which one you want to convert. Okay? And in summary, to answer the last question, what do I need to do to master my time? I'm not going to explain this, I'll just list for you. You need a vision. If you do not have something you're waking up to, then there's no need. Second thing, you need self-control. Because some of the things, like the place I told you I was going, it doesn't make sense. All right? But somebody has to go. The third one, you need a very innovative. You remember the 2. It's in the final state, but I can still make flowers out of it. You need a very creative, innovative mind. Together. All right? And the other 2, one we've already talked to it about, the last one, the resources, because we measure so much on the money, but good health and relationships. And if you break down the word relationship is relation, then there are ships. Ships, what do they carry? Things. Invest in those ones. They have something for you. There are ships carrying something for you. But how you relate with them determines whether the ship offloads whatever they are carrying for you or not. Then I go to the one that I skipped deliberately. Support systems. Support systems are those people who are going to tell you, girl, this is wrong. Those parents will tell you, I think you are wrong on this one. Support systems. Those friends will look at you and tell you, your friend, no, the friends you have, those ones, those are support systems. They look at you and without mixing their words, they will tell you this is wrong. You get? Because we are used to being patted and being congratulated for the wrong things. Look for the ones who will tell you the truth. Those ones are good support systems. Okay? Yes. And with that, I want to say congratulations. If there was more time, I would have told you stories of time converted. As a volunteer, we have built a school in Madare. As a volunteer, we are taking care of 104 children in Roai with disabilities. So do you think I'll have time for some things? Because there are some children, the decision I'll make will determine whether they get food, medication, therapy, or not. And one of my greatest joys, I would say, is when I saw a school in Madare, Area 4B, it's called Msedo. If you know Madare, you can check it out. It's been featured several times by media. But when I stepped there, the only thing I had was vision. And in 1 year, converted it to a school. Please, please, look at this picture nicely. Let today be the last day that you waste your time. Are we in agreement? And from here, I pray that none of you will see things the same way. When you see 50 bob, you will not see it. Haezi tosha mandazi. Please see it different. That's why I've told you congratulations, because you mastered. Thank you.
We can appreciate him better. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so very much, Mr. Lenny, for such an insightful session.